You wanna win a cup, leave Kaizer Chiefs. This is a song that Macheke and Sekota are singing. Congratulations to Stellenbosch FC. Shout out to Coach Steve Barker. They deserved it. They worked hard. It's too bad for Sid Ramovic and TS Galaxy. They tried, Shem, but it was not to be. But anyways, in this video, we're going to talk about the one, the only Daine Malisela, and being linked with Kaizer Chiefs. What has he said about it? We're also going to talk about the player who is about to leave or might leave Kaizer Chiefs this January transfer window, and weird reasons why he might be leaving Kaizer Chiefs. They make sense, but also they don't make sense. Hello and welcome to Coast Nation Fan TV. I am Pelo, I am your host, and this is our fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Amakusi Football Club. Right. So, Daine Malisela. What do we know about him? We know that he's the man who did win the Telkom knockout against Kaizer Chiefs, and he left us crying back in 2019. We were so sad. That's not the point, though. The point is, a lot of people have been saying, oh, we want Daine Malisela, we want him to come to Kaizer Chiefs. And here's the thing, before we talk about what he said. The PSL, SAFA, whoever decided this, they've decided that they're going to make it even harder for plumbers to come into South Africa, because they've now made the requirements even tougher for coaches who are coming from outside of South Africa. And effectively, that means there will be less traffic of foreign coaches. And that also means there will be more South African coaches who will be able to coach here because they're already here. I will see that. I know that even for them, the regulations or the qualifications will have to go up, obviously. But for the most part, it's that there will be more opportunities afforded to local coaches because there will be less opportunities for foreign coaches, because the entrance level is now just up there. To a point that a coach like Xabi Alonso, who's currently coaching Bayer Leverkusen, wouldn't be able to coach the PSL next season. And Bayer Leverkusen are flying this season. But that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is, it's now going to be easier for coaches like Daine Malisela to be taken by teams like Kaizer Chiefs. Or Kaizer Chiefs will be forced to find coaches who are extremely qualified to come and coach Chiefs. Anyways, the point being, now this thing that just happened has now increased the chances of coaches like him coming to coach Kaizer Chiefs. And because of that, when I was asked, what do you think about coming to coach Kaizer Chiefs, the links, how true are they? And he says that obviously doesn't want to disrespect his current team, which is Baroka FC. But he also continues to say, but at the same time, who wouldn't want to coach Kaizer Chiefs with the facilities that they have? Obviously, that's code for saying, hell yeah, I want to coach Kaizer Chiefs. Who doesn't? Funny enough, this is the same answer that Pitso Msimane gave. Kaizer Chiefs have good facilities. Kaizer Chiefs are a big club. So why would we not want to go there? And thinking about it, he did go to Royal AM, and his qualifications are also not make sure, because I remember when he was at Royal AM, he couldn't sit on the bench because of the qualifications. So that's just another issue when they were playing in the CAF Confederations Cup, it was the CAF Confederations Cup. So that will also have to be looked at. I don't know if Chiefs are looking at the qualifications of the coaches, but I think they do, because if you look at Zwane, there are reports that they did put him through school. That's why now he has, I think, the UEFA B license. I think Zwane last season was the most qualified coach in South African football, even more than Roland, by the way, just a side note. Anyways, so at that time that was the case. So I'm thinking to myself, would Chiefs, as much as Daine Malisela is liked by many, would they want a coach who does not have the qualifications that Zwane has, kind of bring him up? Because, as you know, the Kaizer Chiefs brand, it's more than just about, it's a coach who has won things or whatever. It's also about how does it reflect the brand, right? Because there must be a story about a coach like Zwane. He's one of us, this and that. He's been with us for this much time, So even with the coach who's coming next that they are going to appoint, there must be a story. And I don't think that Daine Malisela kind of fits that image that Kaizer Chiefs are trying to push. Not that he's a bad coach, no. I'm just talking about also like the way that he behaves sometimes when the team is losing and how he behaves in the touchline and all of that. I think they stopped with Umshini because Umshini would go berserk out there. And also after games, Daine Malisela could say whatever that he wants to say. But if you look at what the Kaizer Chiefs coaches have been saying, they even lie and protect the brand like at all cost. We had Zwane saying, "Oh, Pimenyimana, we did not want him because he's not the mobile striker." The team now wants to sign him. Zwane says nothing. He's playing him every day. He's an important player because you don't want to contradict what the club said. And now Malisela is just one of those coaches who likes to speak his mind. And Kaizer Chiefs, the way they do things, the way they protect the brand, I don't see them allowing or hiring a coach like that. Footballing wise, obviously, he would be great. But at the same time, you're like, would he be an improvement? This is a question for you. Do you think Daine Malisela would be an improvement to Kevin Johnson? Or do you think we already have a good enough coach in Kevin Johnson? Because personally, if for me, what I'm saying right now is Usid Ramovic just lost the final, and I think he made a sub that I questioned when he brought on Mbunjana and took out a more offensive player, but that's a story for another day. But anyways, I'm thinking to myself, if you are going to remove Kevin Johnson and put a South African coach there, it has to be a really exceptional coach, either Pito or Penny McCarthy. Those are the two coaches that I think can replace Kevin Johnson right now at Kaizer Chiefs. Otherwise, there's no one else on a corner that dressing room Kaizer Chiefs when I look around. By the way, that's why I think Kevin Johnson wouldn't like carry it long term as a Kaizer Chiefs coach, because I feel like as much as he knows how to manage the other younger players, but the older senior players, he would not be able to do that because pride and whatnot, and we are here, we are old and all that. They need a coach with a firm hand. Also by khombisa ukuthi hey kuphethe mina la nizwa ngami mawuboza uzohlala ebhenchini, hayi lento ukuthi umuntu angadlali kahle but they still come back and play game in game out. I'm just saying that's a side note. Anyways, moving on to Tebogo Potsane. But before we talk about Tebogo Potsane, please do make sure to like the video if you're enjoying it so far, and also subscribe to the channel for more Kaizer Chiefs content. Now, if you've noticed, Tebogo Potsane has not been making, not even the bench, he's not been making the match day squad at this point for the past few games, a lot of games. And this thing started after he gave an assist against Sundowns, and we start seeing him kuma activation and he's not coming to games, but we hadn't heard anything about Potsane is injured. And even to this day, Askage to Potsane is injured. We haven't had much about Potsane being injured, but he's the one who's consistently not there. And funny enough, whenever he has played, he produced good moments. And then Dolly comes back, Dolly takes his position, and then now it's Saile in that position. But whenever Potsane did play, he actually did perform. So that is why I don't understand why he's not been featured. And now the news coming out that since there are so many people who are seen as ahead of him in that pecking order of Kaizer Chiefs, now it seems like he is what do you call it? Surplus to requirements. To a point that they would even go as far as playing Kosing Pilengobo out of position as a right winger than playing Potsane as a right winger, a person who actually plays that position, who's experienced in that position. So it is really weird how Kaizer Chiefs are doing things. But then again, I do think that with some of these players, they can do whatever that they want, because you have players like Abo Potsane who were picked up as free agents. So as a free agent, it didn't have a team. It was just like, okay, come play for Chiefs. There weren't too many promises made to him, right? Because Vele Dolu was played as a right winger, so he was coming in as like a squad rotation player. So there's no obligation from their side. But if you look at the players like Abo Mart, in their contracts, they have he must play every game. So it doesn't matter how bad they perform, they will play, because in their contracts, there is you must play every game. So I do think that thing of the contracts has also affected how many games he features. And because of that, now he's linked with the move away. Do you think this would be a good idea, or do you think Potsane should be given another opportunity? Because frankly, I think that combination beginning of the season, yes, there was that negativity about the combination of Potsane, Dupree and Modi. The negative thing about it was that we just depended on their pace and we're not playing football in any other way. So that was the only negative thing. But now with Johnson, he can still fit him in his squad and find a new role, but still playing as a right winger, but not always relying on just boom, let's run. So I do think personally that giving him another opportunity, especially knowing that Silas better second half, it wouldn't hurt anyone, would it? But what do you think about it? Do let me know down on the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals Alpelumoy.